Chapter 3. A road less traveled. The bright sun woke Dorothy slowly. She could feel the light working its way beneath her eyelids before she even fully realized she was awake. She heard Toto woof softly beside and sat bolt upright. "Toto, baby, are you okay?" He was, standing and stretching his rear legs the way he always did. The sun hurt Dorothy's eyes, but its brilliant warmth made the pain nearly pleasant, and she turned her face up toward it. Another quiet woof from Toto, following by him head-butting her leg, forced Dorothy to open her eyes and take in her surroundings. "Sweet Jesus," she said as she began to comprehend her situation. Very clearly, Dorothy was no longer in Kansas. The bright orange sun shone down on a lush landscape nearly tropical in nature. She stood on the side of the only visible, constructed element in sight, a road of sorts, built of cobbled, uneven stones the shade of daisies, faded by years of sunlight. Beyond the road, using the term loosely, which loomed vaguely in the direction of the rising sun, the landscape was completely wild, overgrown to the point of chaos. Rich green trees crowded the Yellowstone road. Beyond that, nothing. No movement, more importantly, no sound. It was absolutely, blissfully silent. The last thing Dorothy remembered was standing naked but for her glorious corset before. Naked. She looked down at herself and was immediately relieved to see she was again, though mysteriously fully clothed. Sensing a comforting constriction around her midsection, Dorothy touched her stomach and gasped. The rich leather corset was still attached, though hidden beneath her sweater. Trapped in a strange new world, unsure of what to do or where to go, the corset exerted its power, calming Dorothy. As she looked around, her breath regulating itself and her heartbeat slowing, Dorothy made a decision. Never before on her own, she immediately knew that she was in a precarious position and her life as well as Toto's was in her own hands. "Toto, come on, boy," she called out and began walking the uneven yellowish stones toward the rising sun. Was it east in this unknown world? She felt so, and the beautiful trees all seemed to bend slightly in that direction. 4 hours later, after the sun had passed its zenith in the bluest sky Dorothy had ever seen, both she and Toto were tired, hungry, and out of sorts. She decided it was time to take a break and sat down to rest in the cool shade beneath a massive tree that appeared to be a cross between an oak and some sort of pine. Toto curled up next to her on the rich soil, and before she knew, both fell into a deep slumber. Dorothy awoke some time later, how long she didn't know, to sounds. The first sound other than her own steps and Toto's excited breathing she'd heard since arriving in this strange land of blue skies, orange sun, and green trees. That brightly comforting sun was setting in what she presumed to be the western sky. She was suddenly frightened. As Toto jumped up from his resting place, prepared to let loose a volley of shrill barking, she grabbed him. "Toto," she half-whispered, "please be still." He followed her command, but his muscles were stiff with fear beneath her trembling hand. As soon as she spoke, the noises, coming from the direction of the road she'd been traveling, stopped. "Hello, is anyone out there?" came a voice in what Dorothy recognized as a clipped British accent. A fierce growl ripped from Toto's throat, and she froze in a sudden premonition of coming horror. But it was too late.